In terms of in working with banks, what are the first challenges that you as the technology provider encounter, and how would you recommend in terms of what has been your experience in being an ideal transition for a bank into a digital space?
Yeah, for me, in our experience, the most important fact to create or to go to something as disruptive as the digital in any of the flavor Tiago mentioned is the top management and even the stockholders, of the bank wanted to go that route. If you don't have that, then all the activities you may do in the bank can be seen as what I showed as digital branding. It's just a technology initiative, very pretty, but it doesn't run in the bank. It doesn't it doesn't take advantage of what digital can add to a bank. So for me, the most important challenge in any organization is that the top management, the owners of the bank, those who really, can take big decisions, wants to go digital. If not, if you don't have, green light on there, anything you can do is going to end at some point.
So you're saying that this would be like getting a car and making the outside look like a race car, but if the engine's not a race car engine, it's not a race car.
Yes. So aside from the fact, and in our experience, we have the two situations. One, if where the middle management or the management in charge of technology or business recognizes that they had to go digital, but the top management don't want to go, don't want to spend the money, they invest the money to do it. That's one situation, and the other one is which is even worse, is where the middle management or the lower management cannot, don't know anything about digital, don't embrace the idea, and don't follow it. So if that's the situation, then the bank may be in a challenge, not this year, but probably in 2-3 years.
Germán, in terms of looking at the process, Banco Original, which you referenced here, was born digital. It was brand new. It's very easy, much easier to work when something is new. What about when you're an ongoing bank and you've been operating in your market for many years? You got to basically transform yourself while running this marathon. How do you see this recommendation to the banks undertaking
the first recommendation I would give is they have to identify the pain points, the main pain points for the bank, and attack directly those pain points. I mean, not going for the whole cake. Just start by the place where it's most painful.
So attack the weakness.
Attack the weakness with digital. So digital, you can start by just a piece, because if you want to do the whole bank, to reinvent the whole bank at the time, you will be embarked in a 5-year project, in a 3-year project, where you will end up in a different world. In 3 years, we are not going to be like today. In 3 years, the cars were not driven at all, and the buses. So you cannot go for that big project. You have to attack the main weakness that you have right now and start by that. That's those are quick wins at the same time. If you achieve a better status of that situation, you have a win, and so you can build on that. You can convince people. You showed results, and
we're almost out of time. And one last chance for any questions. One question, yes, sir.
This question is for Germán.
Yeah.
Can you share with us what experience you had, or Banco Original had in Brazil, in terms of allowing Banco Original to be all digital? Because as we have mentioned, the regulatory issues are very strong, especially in Latin America, where you're not allowed to use digital documentation, things of the sort.
Yeah, well, what I can say, but I can also put you in contact with the people at the bank who has more authority to talk about that. But from the experience that I had with them is sometimes, and in this case happened, the regulation don't prohibit to do something. The regulation doesn't say you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot. The regulation mostly says we recommend this, and that. And I can give you an example. The onboarding, the digital onboarding, full digital onboarding and KYC, which is the big question. When they went to the regulation said there should be an official at the bank responsible to identify that the person who wants to be client is the person who say he is or she is. It doesn't say how that official would be responsible for identifying. So that identification could be through digital tools, through certain methods that guarantee that the person approaching the bank is is the same person. So that validation is not prohibited from the regulation. It's just work around what is permitted in terms and think it in terms of digital.
It's interpreting it digitally.
Yeah, digital. Because I give you, I picked this example from Brekin. He said a computer is more accurate to diagnose cancer than a group of the best doctors. Okay, so why we may think that a single person at the branch could be better identifying a person that a machine, that can do thousands or millions of requests of information in a second, and the person can't. Why? So if you start reshaping your mind in this way, you can find out that the regulation gives recommendations, and you can use digital technology to adapt to the regulation without breaking it.